Today, now, I want to talk to you about mastery and predicting success. Who would like to predict their own success? Entrepreneurial confidence. When you have entrepreneurial confidence, you can literally predict your own success. I believe, and I have long believed, that entrepreneurs are born and not made. I know this because over the last 15 years, I've worked with tens of thousands of clients, students, and customers. And by doing assessments with them and knowing how I'm wired, I realized that we entrepreneurs are wired differently than the rest of the population, right? Anybody ever felt like me, like the black sheep in a sea of white sheep, wondering if what is different about me? Where are you, Jen Levitz? I heard you, bah. Right? Give me a woohoo if you too cannot bear to live a soul-sucking existence. Right? We can't work in a cubicle for somebody else. We've got to do our own thing. We've got to fulfill what we're here to do. Okay? I believe that, and I also believe that as an entrepreneur, we are pretty much at this point completely unemployable. Yes? Yes. Yes. So here's the thing about that. The bigger the front, the bigger the back, right? Part of being different from everybody else is that we're wired differently. And here's what I've realized. In entrepreneurship, in how we are different than the rest of the population, is that you're either a high idea generator, anybody? Lots and lots of ideas, wired to start new things, yeah? But you're also driven to distraction. Yeah. Or you're great at getting things done. Woo! Right? But because of that, you're also wired to stick with what's familiar, which leads to more of the same and not big breakthroughs in your business. Either way, what I've learned is because we're like this, it feels like a lot of work being self-employed for not much reward. Yeah? Hallelujah. Yep. So you may say, Fabienne, if I was born to be an entrepreneur, why is it so difficult? Why is it not more straightforward? And this is because of the entrepreneurial predicament. The entrepreneurial predicament states that, yes, at first, you were wired. At first, you got clients from word of mouth. Did most people get their first clients from word of mouth? Yeah. Because you're good at what you do and all that good stuff. But after a while in your business, there gets to be a point when expenses begin to grow and you must do more to build your business. What I have found is that stagnant entrepreneurs, meaning those who feel overwhelmed or who are not progressing year after year, face 3 sets of frustrations. Would you like to know what they are? The first set of frustrations are the strategic frustrations. Strategic frustrations meaning not knowing what to do. It keeps you stuck. It's about not having a roadmap, not having a plan, not knowing what to prioritize, and having what I call the whack-a-mole approach to business. Go like this with me. Go like this, okay? Where you're just putting out fires, right? But did you see here on this screen? Missed 6 out of 10. Whacked 0, right? When you approach your business this way, without direction, without a plan, that's what happens, right? Strategic frustrations also have to do with starting from scratch all the time and lacking systems. When you lack systems, things fall through the cracks. You're reinventing processes from scratch. When you have no strategy, there's an unclear marketing message. Anybody? Yeah. And general confusion about what to do next. Deep breath in. not knowing how to do certain things. Perhaps you know that you need to launch your first event or a product or just go out there and network, but you have no idea how to do it. And then there's all this stuff that you don't know exists about leveraging your business. How do you go from working with, like Joe said, being on the roof for 12 hours to several months later retiring your tool belt and having other people do things for you? Or how do you do, like Victoria, go from $0 to $10,000 a month in just 1 year, right? There's things that you don't know about how to make that happen. And all of these things lead to having no clear direction. Okay, so that's the strategic frustrations. Second set of frustrations are the mindset frustrations. Getting in your own way. Getting in your own way means there's a general feeling of overwhelm. Yes? I heard it over here. Who feels overwhelmed in their business? Yeah, practically 100% of entrepreneurs, right? And overwhelm means that you're easily distracted. And this sometimes resembles your brain. Yes? Yes. Right? Mindset frustrations also mean that if you don't feel good enough on your own, you have lower expectations of what you feel. Like, remember what Michelle said? She's like, I don't think I can do $14,000 a month. And yet, with the right structures, she's able to go at $30,000 a month, et cetera, right? Mindset frustrations also deal with what we've been talking a lot about today, which are the limiting beliefs that run the show. This gets in the way, as does the self-confidence that happens because, you know what? When you're operating solo, there's a lot of doubt. Would you say? Yes, right? And if we're being really honest, fear sometimes gets in the way too. Yes? Say, I admit it. Yep. And feeling like perhaps you need permission to play a bigger game in your business. But what also gets in the way is not understanding how the universe works, not fully understanding the role of metaphysics and quantum physics and really instructions for how to raise your wealth consciousness. Those used to be something that were talked about in the woo-woo circles, but they're actually very applicable to business. But if you don't know about that, it doesn't help with your mindset. I'll say this. Boundaries that need to be set. Anybody have boundary issues with their clients, their team, their family, et cetera, as it comes to business? Right. Those are mindset frustrations. And these lead to self-sabotage. Remember, we were talking today with someone who said, frankly, if I'm being honest, I self-sabotage my business because I don't feel like my mindset is not there yet. Right? Deep breath in. The third set of frustrations are the isolation frustrations that come from operating solo. I don't know, when I started my business, I started it from a corner of my living room, right? Or perhaps for you, the kitchen table or an extra bedroom, but we're working by ourselves, which means that there's no mentorship, that you're trapped in the day-to-day of your business, literally painted into a corner because you're working with clients or you're working on your marketing and it's just, there's not enough of you to go around and no time to work on your business for long stretches of time. Isolation also means that there's not enough structure because let's face it, if you are somebody who has lots and lots of ideas, that probably means that there's not a lot of structure, right? And we kind of fudge the deadlines and things like that. Am I the only one who's ever done this? Okay, great. Isolation also means that there's not enough support. Yes? Do you feel not supported enough sometimes in your business? Right. And you're doing pretty much everything yourself, which can mean that you become the bottleneck in your business, right? When everything has to go through you, You just slow everything down, which means that there's not enough implementation in your business. And what do we say? You don't get results from things you don't implement, right? There's no implementation, but when you're operating solo, there's also no accountability. And if left to our own devices and there's nobody to report back to about whether or not you did something, it's likely that left to your own devices, you're not going to do it. Is it true? Yes. Yes. Know when to talk about what I call level 3 stuff. Level 1 is supermarket share. How are you? Good. How are you? No sharing whatsoever. Level 2 talk is acquaintance share, where you share the minimal, how's business? Oh, business is great. Thank you. How's your business? Great. But you would never share what we call go there share with the majority of people, which is, how's business? You know what? I'm thrilled. I'm up $10,000 this month, but I'm having a really hard time with a toxic employee. Or business, I've got a great team, or I'm doing well, I'm speaking, but I'm not closing the sale from the stage, or when I go to a networking group, things we need to have places where we can feel safe, as was mentioned here, where we can talk about the 5% that's going really well in business or in life, and the 5% that's going not so well in business or in life. Because here's the thing. We entrepreneurs are whole beings. I've always said, my business is a limb of me. It is I and I am it. Anybody else feel that way? You can't just compartmentalize yourself. You've got to have a place to share this. Now, can I go deep here? Yes. I'm going to bring the truth, okay? Isolation also means that sometimes a well-meaning spouse, thinks that the business owner knows enough and should just do it. Yes? Or a parent or a sibling. And isolation also means that some naysayers can dampen your enthusiasm. Anybody ever have that happen? Yeah. What does that do? That affects your confidence, right? And it leads to self-doubt. And all three of those 3 sets of frustrations, I've been studying entrepreneurs because I've been hanging out with you guys for 15 years. All 3 of these mean inadequate growth. So if you've ever wondered, why am I stagnant or why am I overwhelmed in my business? It's because no direction, self-sabotage, and operating solo. Deep breath in. Turn to the person next to you and say, wow, that's me, right? Which means that you pretty much stay status quo. But as you saw today, for these people who are kind enough and brave enough to come up and share their very personal numbers and stories and frustrations of the past and celebrate with you, is that not everybody experiences this. Many people are experiencing great results. They've got systems, they've got marketing in place, they're delegating effectively, they're making more while working less on evenings and weekends. How is this possible? Well, the number one predictor of success in business is confidence. Turn to the person next to you and say, confidence. So how do you get entrepreneurial confidence? Right? You get, and can everyone experience entrepreneurial confidence? Yes, when you have the right tools. So, how can you experience entrepreneurial confidence? Number 1, when you're clear about your next steps. When you feel capable. And that is strategy. When you have strategy, you always know where you're going. You follow proven marketing systems. You get growth strategies that you didn't know existed. When you get mentored by already successful people, business owners who are living this day in and day out. When you model examples that show you exactly how to do something. So you're not thinking, oh, okay, I need to do a webinar. How do you record the webinar? How long should it be? Should I charge for it? How do I get people to actually go and watch my webinar? You could spend 6 months trying to figure that out on your own. Or you could just say, oh, that's how you do it? Oh, that's how much you charge or not charge? When you learn from other people's best practices, when you have somebody tell you, do this, don't do that, that doesn't work. When you work from proven scripts, proven templates, proven processes that have already been vetted for you, right, Stacy? When you have time to plan, instead of trying to grow your business in between client appointments, does that work? No. Right? Time to plan on your business, to work on your business outside of your office. When you can be strategic and set up measurable goals and know what to do exactly within the next 90 or 120 days and how you'll get it done. I have discovered that when you attend regular structured meetings with mentors, with other advancing entrepreneurs, you gain clarity on next steps. All of this gives you entrepreneurial confidence through capability. And capability meaning, I know what to do next, and I know how to do it. Yeah. The second way that you gain entrepreneurial confidence is when you stretch your vision and take bigger action. And this is not just mindset, once a year, mindset on a daily basis. This is when you use processes for thinking bigger. When you increase your belief in yourself and you realize that once what you thought was impossible, as what Michelle said, actually becomes very possible. Remember when Victoria read you what was on her goal card? She's like, yeah, I thought it was kind of a joke. And she hit everything on her gold card. This becomes possible. When you have the right mindset, you integrate tools to get past fear and into action. When you have mindset on a regular basis, you overcome personal blocks. You get in your own way, right? Does anybody? Yes, right? Yeah. When you apply strategies for staying really focused and eliminating distractions. When you become a disciplined entrepreneur. When you discover hacks to be more disciplined in your day-to-day actions. When you're disciplined in your day-to-day actions, you get more done. Who wants to get more done? Yeah. When you become intentional about your day-to-day activities. When you know every day, this is the one thing I'm going to work on today to get my business where I want it to go. When left to their own devices, most people don't do that. Deep breath in. When you develop an abundant mindset where every seed that you plant has everything that it needs to grow. When you learn directly from people who have mastered mindset, so you stretch your vision of what's possible for your business. When you build strong wealth consciousness. When you discover metaphysics and quantum physics and how you can use these in your business. This gives you entrepreneurial confidence with mindset, which means a belief in yourself and wanting to play bigger. Woohoo! Right? Number 3. You want to hear number 3? Yeah. Number 3 is when you get encouragement and accountability from a tribe of positive, like-minded people that you like and love. This is community. This is where you want to get in an environment where people are positive, when people are encouraging. What would that do to your business? When you are continually surrounded with other confident entrepreneurs who see you bigger than you see yourself at that moment. When you have people that you talk to every day who lovingly keep you accountable to your goals, and this is structured, and it doesn't happen just every once in a while when you feel like it. It literally happens every day for 5 minutes. What would happen if you had this in your life? Deep breath in. When you rejoice in having those level 3 conversations, and you can literally say, pick up the phone and call somebody and say, I'm now making $10,000 a month, yay! And they say, oh my God, that's awesome. Or you tell a whole tribe of people, I have just done the impossible. I am so proud of myself. Please celebrate with me. And the whole tribe goes, yes, I knew you could do it. But also a soft place to land when things don't always go your way. People who will help you stay the course and let you have, I'm just going to say, let you have your pity party for a few minutes. And then they say, all right, dust yourself off and try again. And give you a loving kick in the pants when you need it most. That is entrepreneurial confidence through trusted community. Knowing, listen to my words, knowing you never have to do this alone ever again. How do you do it? The confident entrepreneur needs a solid plan, a growth mindset, community, and accountability. That being said, what's your next move? Later tonight, I will ask you this question. If we were to meet again exactly 1 year from today at the next mindset retreat in October of 2016, what would need to have happened over the course of the next 12 months for you to feel confident in your business and happy with your progress? You see, for confident entrepreneurs, the training never stops, does it? No. In my own life, I've realized that if I want new, lasting results and lasting transformation and lasting growth, I must invest in myself. This is why I always have coaches. I always am in community. I pay to be in these communities because that's the only place where people show up, and it's because they have skin in the game. Anybody else realize that, right? Because other people flake out. So you must invest of your time, of your energy, of your effort, and of your financial resources. Invest in joining in a fun community of other confident entrepreneurs. That's where the juice is. Especially when you don't have a lot of support and you feel isolated. You want to be in a tribe of people who say, you've totally got this. I have got your back. Joe said it. Brianna said it. People who will literally just walk with you on this path. And then in 5 months, you increase your income dramatically because of that. Because can you really do it on your own? How do you know that? You tried that. If you could have done it on your own, you would have. There's no shame in it whatsoever. It's about understanding how you're wired and what you need to succeed. And if you're committed to success, you can't do it on your own. Do you want to know why you can't do it on your own? It's because you can't give yourself a good haircut, can you? Well, perhaps you can. I don't know. Yeah. But it's because you need the solid plan, you need the growth mindset, you need the community and the accountability. I know that that's what I needed. And you know what? I'm pretty smart, right? And are you pretty smart? But we still need things outside of ourselves because we can't be good at everything. And so a few years ago, I surveyed the landscape of what mentorship is available for entrepreneurs like us. Okay? I'm not talking about multiple $1 million business. I'm talking about us. And there are magazines for multiple $1 million businesses. I love these magazines, Inc., Entrepreneur, etc. But they're talking a different game. But this is not us. Us is what we're talking about. And so I looked at traditional business schools, and they don't provide anything that we're talking about. In fact, we had a couple ladies here who said they have been to business school or they wanted to go back to business school, and it wasn't providing what they wanted. Because business schools, forgive me, traditional business schools are not made for entrepreneurs like us. And at $40,000 to $60,000 a year, I don't know about you, but if I'm not going to get what I need, I'm not going to pay $60,000 a year. True dat or not true dat? Yes. This is why we created the Client Attraction Business School.